Go.
This is the PaperSlide presentation on vitamins and minerals by Altavis Basley, Aaron Braxton, and Grayson Gavley. Pyridoxine, also known as vitamin B6, is a vitamin that functions in the metabolism of protein, fat, carbohydrates, the formation of neurotransmitters, glycolysis, and as an antioxidant. Good sources of pyridoxine include meats, whole grains, enriched cereals, and eggs. It is recommended that daily adult males consume 1.3 to 1.7 milligrams, adult females consume 1.3 to 1.5 milligrams, and athletes take in 1.5 to 2.0 milligrams. Failure to take in the recommended amounts could lead to a deficiency causing nausea, mouth sores, muscle weakness, depression, convulsions, and impaired immune system. Knowing what is not enough is just as important as knowing what is too much. The tolerable upper intake level for young children aged 1 to 8 years old is 30 to 40 milligrams per day, while the level for children and adults ages 9 to 70 plus is 60 to 100 milligrams per day. Symptoms of this toxicity include loss of limb sensation and loss of coordination. Vitamin K is a fat-soluble vitamin functioning in the formation of blood clots, as well as the enhancement of osteocalcin function to aid in bone strengthening. The best source of vitamin K comes from folliquinone and menaquinone. Folliquinone is found in a variety of vegetable oils as well as dark leafy green vegetables. Menaquinone is formed by the bacteria that lines the GI tract. Due to this lining of the GI tract and the presence of vitamin K in intestinal bacteria, a dietary requirement is not known. Although the recommended intake of vitamin K is known to be 120 micrograms per day in adult males, 90 micrograms per day in adult females, and 700 to 900 micrograms per day for athletes. There are no studies that show whether there is a relationship between vitamin K and athletic performance, but it is known that athletes involved in contact sports should maintain normal vitamin K levels in order to avoid excessive bruising and bleeding. As for female endurance athletes, there is research to show evidence of low vitamin K status leading to bone loss. While deficiency is rare for vitamin K, if it does occur, it can result in hemorrhage. As for toxicity, the tolerable upper intake levels have not been established. It should be noted, though, that high levels of vitamin K in the synthetic form can result in jaundice. Chromium, also known as glucose tolerance factor, is a trace mineral that functions to improve insulin function by enhancing insulin sensitivity in cells, which aids in the transportation of glucose out of the blood and into cells. Food sources for chromium include whole grain foods, cheese, nuts, and brewer's yeast. For the average person, adequate intake of chromium is 25 micrograms per day for females and 35 micrograms per day for males. For athletes, adequate intake is 30 to 35 micrograms per day. Chromium deficiency is rare, but usually occurs in people who have been fed through their veins for long periods of time. Chromium toxicity is considered unlikely, but may occur in high supplementation. Selenium is an antioxidant mineral which helps protect cells from oxidative damage. It is part of the glutathione peroxidase, which is an enzyme family intended to protect organisms from oxidative damage. We consume selenium in our diets. Foods that are rich in selenium include organ meats, such as liver, fish, seafood, also whole grain foods, and some vegetables may be great sources of the mineral. The food that is actually highest in selenium are Brazil nuts that have been grown in selenium-rich soil. The recommended daily allowance for selenium is around 55 micrograms per day for both adult men and women. For children, 20 micrograms per day is recommended, and 70 micrograms is recommended if you are a nursing mother. The athlete's recommendation ranges between 50 to 55 micrograms per day. In the US, it is estimated that adults actually consume between 100 to 159 micrograms of selenium per day, which is around 2 to 3 times what is recommended. While excess may just be a recurring theme in the American diet, no evidence has been found that selenium has any benefit to health or exercise performance. In fact, excessive intake is toxic and may be fatal. The upper limit for selenium intake is 400 micrograms per day. Selenium deficiency in the body is very rare, but if it does occur, heart damage may follow, so it is important to monitor appropriate levels.